Hello, and welcome to Realty, Texas. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Due to a national regulatory change in 2024, there are a few quick formalities required before our agent is authorized to tour a home. Two essential documents are now required to be provided as part of the home buying process. The first document is required by the Texas Real Estate Commission, and the second document is required by the National Association of Realtors. Please bear with me as I present these two documents, as I am required to go over them prior to touring a home. The first document is the Information about Brokerage Services form. This form is broken into 4 sections. The first section states the types of real estate license holders in Texas, brokers who are responsible for overseeing all agent activities, and sales agents who must work under a sponsoring broker. In this case, Realty Texas is responsible for all brokerage services, and our agent works with clients on behalf of Realty Texas. The second part of the form outlines the broker's minimum duties required by law, such as put the interests of the client above all others, including the broker's own interests. Inform the client of any material information about the property or transaction, received or known by the broker. Answer the client's questions and present any offer to or counteroffer from the client. And treat all parties to a real estate transaction honestly and fairly. The third section of the form discusses the various ways brokers represent clients in transactions. A broker becomes the property owner's agent through a signed listing agreement with the owner, owing minimum duties and fiduciary duties to the owner. The broker becomes the buyer or tenant agent, whichever the case may be, by agreeing to represent them through a signed broker agreement, owing minimum duties and fiduciary duties to the buyer, as an agent for both in what's called an intermediary relationship. This requires written agreements and written approval from both parties and involves one agent representing the buyer and another agent from the same brokerage representing the seller, where the agent owe minimum duties and fiduciary duties to their respective party. Or finally, as a sub-agent, this occurs when a buyer does not have a signed agreement with their agent. In this case, the agent can assist the buyer, but does not represent the buyer and must place the interests of the owner first. As the form explains, to avoid disputes, all agreements between the client and the broker should be in writing and clearly establishes the broker's duties and responsibilities, who will pay the broker for services provided to you, when payment will be made, and how the payment will be calculated. Finally, the last section of the form provides the contact information for our agent, the supervisor for the agent, the designated broker of the firm, and the firm's information. The second document is the Buyer Representation Agreement, which addresses new practices introduced by the National Association of Realtors in 2024. This agreement establishes a professional relationship between you and Realty Texas. Here's what it means for you. We owe you the highest level of fiduciary duty, including loyalty, confidentiality, and full disclosure. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to purchase a home. If we source a property for you, this agreement ensures we represent you exclusively and advocate for your best interests throughout the transaction. Now, let's address fees. Our broker's fee is typically 3% and is paid to the brokerage. Many listing brokers offer cooperative compensation, which means they cover all or part of the buyer's broker's fee. If they don't, we can negotiate with the seller to cover some or all of it. In most cases, we're successful in ensuring the entire fee is covered, and sometimes we're even offered bonuses. On rare occasions, when the seller refuses to cover the fee, we'll inform you upfront so we can factor this into the negotiations with the seller. If, prior to going under contract on a home, you wish to cancel this agreement, our manager would be happy to respect your wishes. If a dispute arises, we are happy to work in good faith to resolve any misunderstandings. Your satisfaction is our top priority. Before we can discuss properties in detail or schedule a tour, these documents must be signed. This requirement applies across all Realtor member brokerages, not just Realty Texas. At Realty Texas, we believe in transparency, advocacy, and exceptional service. These requirements are designed to protect you and ensure you have a trusted advisor by your side. If you ever have questions or concerns, our sales manager is always available to assist. Thank you for choosing Realty Texas. We're excited to help you with your real estate goals.